So of course, without a doubt, the Final Fantasy VII Remake is the big Final Fantasy news of this year's E3. However, and it was kind of tucked away in the Square Enix presentation, it has also been announced that they are working on a Final Fantasy VIII Remaster to be released this year. So let's take a look at the short trailer and then we'll have a chat. Yes, I did put out a video yesterday suggesting that there is some potential leaks about an upcoming Final Fantasy VIII Remaster, so it's nice to see that that has now been verified. Now, it's also nice to see that Square Enix are actually acknowledging that this game actually exists, because, let's be honest, Final Fantasy VIII has not, well, I'm trying to say this as charitable as I can. It's not received the same kind of love and attention by Square that the other older Final Fantasies have been getting over the last few years. It's, let's be honest, just been fairly neglected by them. I'm not sure the reason for that. There are various rumours that I do know about, but I'm not going to speculate on. But as to the actual reason why Final Fantasy VIII has been kind of relegated to the dust over the last few years is something that's never been officially revealed. So it is good to see that, yes, Square are acknowledging that this game exists and that it was kind of being left by itself, you know, not getting any kind of remastered treatment up until now, really. So what will this remastered version actually consist of? Well, we've got a still photo, or still image rather, of the trailer, which we're just looking at. And basically, the backgrounds look pretty much the same. So the remaster is, I'm assuming, going to focus on the character models, perhaps in the same sense as the Final Fantasy IX remaster that we got a few years ago, which was recently released on Switch as well, where the game gets a kind of a few filters, a few enhances in terms of upscaling and whatnot of the character models, but everything else is pretty much left as it was 20 years ago. So you can see here that Squall is definitely looking a higher res version of himself. And incidentally, if this is looking rough to you, if this is looking bad to you, or if it's still looking really old to you as far as a remaster is concerned, just go and check out a screenshot of the original Final Fantasy VIII on PS1. Even if you played that game on PS1 and you haven't done so for a while, you kind of forget, or your memory kind of clouds just how bad things looked back then compared to today, and you will see a stark difference, I assure you. So this is a very, very nice upscaling of Squall, because a lot of the fan upscale mods, and I've dabbled in some of those myself, I've even done a walkthrough with the mods enabled, look great, they really do. And in a sense, we can actually play the remastered version now by using those mods on PC. But a lot of them are obviously fan mods because of the way that they connect to one another with the models and stuff. The various polygons don't always work seamlessly together, so you get like jagged edges through the clothes or through various body parts, which hopefully, with Square doing a similar job here to what the fans have already done, they'll be able to do just a little bit more of a professional job. Not that the fans didn't do a great job, they certainly did, but of course Square have actually got a budget behind this, so you'd expect them to do something, more of a proper job, so to speak. So in terms of what else the remake's going to consist of, not the remake, sorry, the remaster, there's definitely a distinction between those two terms, I assure you. So what else the remaster is going to consist of, we don't know. This trailer was unfortunately, not giving out too much, I would say. In fact, it doesn't really tell us anything apart from what we see on screen in terms of some of these graphical updates. So I wouldn't expect much more than that. Will we get a remastered soundtrack? I don't know. We don't get told. Will there be any gameplay improvements or enhancements? Again, there's simply no way to know until Square decide to tell us those things. In terms of how we've historically received these kinds of PlayStation 1 Final Fantasy remasters, we tend to get perhaps some updates to the audio, as in like to the soundtrack. Final Fantasy VII, for example, on all of the modern releases now, uses an enhanced version of the PS1 soundtrack, which is especially useful for those that are playing on PC, because the original PC soundtrack was atrocious. And of course you get some gameplay enhancements as well, but these are just more in the form of cheats, such as being able to max out your stats, max out your gil, and also speed up the game with various turbo boosts. So I would expect similar things with the Final Fantasy VIII Remaster as well. But of course, as I say, none of that has yet been confirmed. I don't expect any changes to the core gameplay mechanics, which will perhaps please some of you and not please others. I've mentioned before in the previous video when we talked about the rumour of this remaster, must get into the habit of it. I've got Final Fantasy VII on the mind. I mentioned before that this game is an incredibly divisive game. Maybe you love this game, and that's great. I have a lot of fond memories of it as well. That's why I've covered it so extensively on my YouTube channel in the past. But that doesn't change the fact that this game is divisive. There are plenty of people that really do not enjoy the gameplay of it. And for many people, it is definitely considered the weakest of the PlayStation era Final Fantasies. The junction system was definitely a love it or hate it type thing. And I don't expect any changes to that system or any of those systems for this remastered version. So, depending on what your thoughts are of how it worked on PS1, you're either going to be, I'd imagine, happy or sad about that as it comes to the modern systems. But there we have it then, guys. I'll be interested to know what you would like to see in the upcoming Final Fantasy VIII Remaster, which is coming out this year. And we'll continue to look at it over the coming months. Goodbye. Well folks, thanks so much for stopping by the video today. Now perhaps I might be able to persuade you to come and join us over in the FuzzfingerGaming Discord channel. It's a great place where we can continue on with the conversation, and I'll leave a link to it down in the video description. Until next time guys, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.